Okay, guys, so I know it's been a long time, but I came back to the series as I promised. And just a disclaimer, I'll rework this series from the scratch because I see that there's a lot room to improvement. But I will just finish with this episode. This will be the last one, and then I will start reworking the series. And also I think I will make a tutorial about FPS movement, so I will teach it to you guys also, so we will make like full-fledged character controller. So let's start. So basically we ended up on being able to interact with the cube. Basically it did nothing, but it just debug log its name on the console. And now I just want to make some UI. So I think that's the part you want. And also we'll make some custom interactables, like this destroy interactable, which is just an example. You can do a lot of other stuff like doors, etc. But maybe let's start with this destroy interactable. So basically, if I click play, I made it before, so I will just show you the script and just go through it because it's very simple. So now I should be in the game. Let me maximize it. And now if I interact with the cube, it should get destroyed after 3 seconds. So let's see, I click E. And yeah, it does. So wow. So that's just some basic example of how you can make more custom interactables. So you can have door interactable and you just have to make your own behavior right there. So if I open up the destroy interactable script, you can see that it's basically a subclass deriving from the interactable base class that we made in the previous video, like we made it a long time ago, and it will inherit most of its stuff. So if we go to interactable base, let me split the view, I will drag it to the right. You can see that all those fields will be inherited by destroy interactable, so you can set the time, etc. If you want to hold it or not. And here we have one virtual method. You can see virtual because we want to override it in the subclass method, which we do sorry, in this subclass. And you can see we use override keyword and we override on interact method. So inside this method, the typical stuff here, you just want to apply your logic here. So if it's a door, just add some door logic here that just rotate it 90 degrees. You can put it here, but it's a destroy interactable and I just use some basic destroy method here. So I just destroyed the game object. Also I call based on interact, so it will call the base method, and the base method basically just debug log what you interacted with. So that's the custom methods and like custom interactables. You can extend it to your own needs. So that's a very simple and quick explanation of this. So now let's get into the UI. So first we should have the canvas here. So we have an image which is our dot crosshair, I would say. So let's rename it to crosshair. Oh, okay, it should be with capital C, crosshair, and yeah, it should be fine. So now we can add an empty game object, and let's go to the 2D view here so we can see it. Let's see this panel, where is it? And I also disabled the skybox here so I can see more easily. So if you click here on this panel here and hold Control Shift, then clicking this, it should, what the hell? Hey guys, some mistake. Just after you added the game object, just zero out everything here and make sure to have this on stretch. So click Control Shift and click on stretch, so it will fill out the entire canvas. So we will name it interaction panel, interaction UI panel. And here we want to have two things. We want to have a tooltip, which says the message of our interactable. And also we want to have the progress bar, which indicates how long we have held our button. Okay, so let's add the progress bar, guys, first. So go to UI, click on image, and I will just resize it to be smaller, like 20 by 20. Something like this should be fine. And I will change the source image to our ball right here. Or you can use whatever image you want. So I will have the radial progress bar. So I will use the ball right here. And I will make it green color. Like this. And I want to change the image type to be filled. So if we change it to filled, you have some few fill methods. So the one I want is radial 360. So it will basically fill out our progress bar if you change the fill amount here. So it's very nice. You have also different kinds of fill method, like horizontal, which is like the normal progress bar, but we have the radial, so let's play with the radial, and I will start from the bottom right here. So that's the progress bar, so let's rename it to the progress bar, and the bar should be with capital. And also let's add the text. So let's right click on the progress bar. Our text will be above our progress bar, and I'll just add the Text Mesh Pro text. And also we want to scale it down to be, I don't know, around, move it down, and let's scale the font size to be smaller, like, I don't know, 14 would be fine. And let's make it so it aligns with the center and with the middle, and it should be below our progress bar. So now let's put some text like interact, which is the basic text, and we should be fine with this. So let's add our interaction panel script. So let's go to our interaction system folder. Okay, so let's add the new script. Let's create our C# script, and we will call it interaction UI panel. And let's drag it onto our interaction UI game object. So make sure to select it and drag it here. So now let's double click on it and open it. So first I'll add the namespace, VHS. Let's format it, and I will just delete the body because I always do it. So we want to have few fields, and just for the simplicity I will make them public, but I will make them just so you can drag them from the editor. So we want serialized field, private image, and we don't have image because we have to add the Unity Engine UI class library. And also if we want to change the text with the Text Mesh Pro, you have to add using EM Pro, and you should be fine. So now we should have access to the image class. So image, and let's call it progress bar, yeah. And let's also add the image, so serialized field, private Text Mesh Pro UGUI, it's called. So it's a basically text, so I will call it tooltip. And the reason why it's serialized field and it's private, why it's not public, because we don't want the other classes to access those fields. We just want to assign them from the editor. That's why they are private, and we use serialized fields so we can expose them in the editor. So now let's add few methods. So we want to add the method to change our tooltip text. So we will have public void set tooltip. And we want to take in string as the argument, and it will be our tooltip. And inside this method, we just want to change our tooltip text. So write tooltip text that set text, which is a method by TextMesh Pro to set our text. So you don't use the assign like in normal Unity text, but I think you can also do it, but it's more convenient to use set text. So set text and write tooltip here, and it should be fine. And I am missing the parenthesis here, brackets here. Okay. Now we want to also add a public method called update progress bar, and as the arguments we want to take in the fill amount, so how much we should fill our progress bar. And inside this method we just want to write progress bar that fill amount, so we access its fill amount and we just assign it our fill amount, which is very simple. Almost last method, I think, because I'm not sure, because I haven't touched this in very long time. It's the reset method. So we want to have public void reset UI. Inside this method we will just reset our bar, so progress bar that fill amount equals 0, and also we want to set our tooltip text to empty string, so we can just write two parentheses. And I think that this method is not good if you set it, because for now we will call it every frame that we don't have an interactable. And if you are setting the text to the empty parentheses, basically what Unity does behind is creating a new string, and it will just allocate some garbage. But you can overcome it by just making the private field, which is called empty string, and just assign empty strings to our text here, so it will not allocate new string anymore. But for the simplicity's sake, I just use two parentheses and we will not worry about it. So that's all the method we will need for now. And let's go to our interactable controller. So let's go back here. Let's open interaction controller, and we want to incorporate it below the data, and we will add the space, and I'll add a header called UI basically. And this coupling is quite fine. Basically I want to couple the UI interaction controller with the interaction controller, and coupling is fine because they are tightly related, so it's fine to have a reference here. But if you want to make them more decoupled, basically using the delegates is the way, and I will do it in the updated version of this tutorial series, but you have to wait. So let's call it interaction UI panel, and let's call it UI panel. Basically it will be easier for us, and make sure the I is from small letter, and we will assign it in our editor. And here what we want to do is to go down to check for interactable method, and here we just want to display our interactable message. So the place we want to add our interactable message should be around, let me see, here. I think if we have our empty interactable, this is the place where we first assigned our interactable. Then you just want to write UI panel that text, that tooltip, and here we want to put some message. So for example, interact, and now we just have interact, but we will change it with our interactable message later on. So that is the first place where we want to set our interact. Then we also wanted to set it in this place, which is basically checking if we have the other interactable, which is not the same that we have in our current data. Then we also want to change this tooltip, and here we just want to change, if we don't have anything, just want to reset our panel. So you will write UI panel that resets UI, and that's it. And now let's go back to the check for an interactable input, and here we want to update our progress bar. So if I go here, we should see that we have hold timer, and if the hold timer is longer than the hold duration, we want to interact. But now this time it's not going from 0 to 1, it's going from 0 to the hold duration that we specified, and we want to have it normalized, so it will go from 0 to 1. And the way to do it is just to make the temporary variable, and we'll do it right now. So here I will just add a temporary variable called, I don't know, float percent or hold percent, and it will be basically our hold timer divided by our hold duration. So let me copy this line here, and I'll just paste it here. So here we have our hold percent, and it will go from 0 to 1, and now we can just write UI panel update progress bar, and we just pass in our hold timer, hold percent, sorry guys. And here now we can just change it. So we don't want to check for this condition. We just want to check if hold percent is greater than 1, then we will interact. So now let's go back to our game and let's see if it's working. First, let's add appropriate references. So our progress bar should be assigned here, our text should be assigned here. Let's rename it to the tooltip text. And in the first person controller, inside interaction controller here, we want to assign our UI panel. So let's drag it here and let's see, maximize, hope it's working. So you can see we have nothing. If I hover above our cube, we have interact, and if I hover outside, we don't have anything because it's getting resetted. And if I hold E, you can see it's getting filled. And if I release it, we have to fix it because it's basically staying right there and it's not resetting, so we have to reset it. But if we go outside the interactable, it will get reset. So if I interact with it fully, we can see it gets destroyed. So now let's go back to our script and let's fix it. So let's see. So here we have our update progress bar held percent. So if we are holding interact, otherwise here, if we are not holding interact, no, it's not, it should be here. So if we are interacting, then we do all this stuff. Else, if we are not interacting, it shouldn't be here, sorry guys. It should be here. So if we released our interact button, then we just want to call UI panel that update progress bar, and we just want to pass in our hold timer, or just pass in 0. There's no difference. So let's go back, let's see if it's working. And if I click E, I release, you can see it's getting resetted. So it's the behavior we want. And now let's play. Last thing we will do, just change our interact message. So if we go to our Unity, which is here, and let's see for interactable base. Okay, so we want to add the string, and we want to go to interactable here. So we'll just go inside our interface, and we want to have one more field, which will be string, and we will have tooltip message, and we'll have it only to get, so we can't set it, we just want to get it. And now let's go to our interactable base, because it has to it has to implement it. So I will just click Control dot and implement our tooltip message, and you can see it gets nicely fit into properties, which is, wow, very nice. And here we just want to throw some message, so we will do the same with this one. So we have the public properties, and we will have the variables that you can set inside the editor. So we have hold interact, hold duration, multiple use is interactable, and beneath it I will just add the serialized field string. Let's call it private string tooltip message, and with the small letter, and I will set it defaultly to interact, so it will be interact on default. And here I just want to get tooltip message. So now we can use this thing. Let's go back to the interaction controller, and in the place where we set our tooltip here, we can now set it to interactable that tooltip message. And let's do the same here. By panel set tooltip. Also let's set it to interactable that tooltip message. So let's go to our editor, and let's click on our cube, which is our interactable, and let's write some custom tooltip message, which is, I don't know, destroy me. And let's play, and let's see. And you can see he said destroy me. Okay, my friend. And that's it, guys. I think that's everything. You can also have one more tooltip message, which is not interactable tooltip message, and we can do the same thing. So we will just add one more string here and one more property here, and inside this method we just want to check if it's interactable. If it is, then we display our interactable message. If it's not, we just want to display our not interactable message. So you can play around with it if you want, but I will rework the series. That's why I don't want to get into it that much. But yeah, I think that's everything, guys. And I will just come back to this series later. I want to do more Unity stuff, but I'm also learning a lot of stuff, so I don't want to teach you guys the bad way to code, because there's a lot of tutorials that they teach bad way, and I hope that my way is not that bad. It's not very good. Like, it's not best, but it's not bad. It's good. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.